I'm Ruchi here from St. John's High School, Chandigarh, and I am taking up maths there in the senior block. And my co-presenter today is Laxmi sir. Laxmi sir, if you could please introduce yourself.
Hello everyone, I am Laxmi Gupta and I am teaching maths in St. Patrick's High Secondary School, Asansol, in the middle block.
Thank you, Lakshmi sir. Now, me and Lakshmi sir will be presenting some lessons, actually some topics from maths, from ranging from primary to secondary level, that is class 10th, in which we have used either the social development goals or we have used the elements of social justice, which you have just seen. So we are just sharing a few examples from from certain topics, and then we are open to interactions from you if you have used any type of these in your schools, in your area. So shall we start? Is it okay for everybody? Thank you,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Thank you.
Yes,
Right.
yes.
Yes,
So,
Lakshmi sir,
yes,
please go ahead.
I'll share my screen, ma'am. Can everyone see my screen?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I'll start with the first one. So this is a fraction multiplication, class 7. And the age group is 12 to 13 years. And the subtopic is fraction multiplication. Now I'll just read the question that is over here. A man gave 1/3 of his money to his son, 1/5 of his money to his daughter, and the remaining to his wife. If his wife gets rupees 35,000, what was the total amount? So if we look at the solution to it, we find that since the portion of money received by the son is 1/3 and the portion of money received by the daughter is 1/5, so the portion of money given to both is 7/15. So if we find what is the total money, we find that the total money comes up to rupees 75,000. Now, if I find that what is 1/3 of 75,000, it will come to rupees 25,000. And if I find 1/5, it comes to rupees 15,000. Now, my question is the person's decision of distributing the money to his son and daughter justifiable? Anyone? Is it justifiable? Why the son is getting more and the daughter is getting less?
No, it is not justified.
Yes, ma'am. So can you tell me the reasons why? Because when we talk about
Because we talk about gender equality.
yes,
When we talk about gender equality, so we can bring the SDG 4 into this, about gender equality.
ma'am, it's SDG 5, I think, gender equality.
Yes, I'm sorry, SDG 5. You're right,
Yes,
sir.
yes, yes. So this is how we relate the question. So it's a normal question of maths. So we relate this like the person is not justifiable in distributing the money to his son and daughter. So we bring about SDG 5. We also bring about gender inequality that is happening. Everyone is clear like how we have brought about the SDGs into this system through this simple example
Yes.
of math sum. So we are not doing much. We are solving the sum as we are, but with this we are bringing out the element of justice. Why there is injustice in distributing the money to the son and the daughter, and we can relate the various SDGs related to it. Can we go with the second example? So this is from class 4. Okay. Age is 9 and 10. Task: solve the sum with appropriate statements. The question is, each female employee and male employee of a company is paid salary of rupees 8,536 and rupees 9,356. So what we find over here, the female is getting less and the male is getting more, respectively, for the same work. Find the amount to be paid to 17 males and another group of 17 females. Find the difference in the salary between the two groups. So it's a normal mathematical sum that we are doing. So teaching method is the teacher reads the question with the help of the student. She frames the statement and the children are encouraged to write the statement and do the calculation. So I'll just show you the calculations. So the solution over here, which is given over here, is
Lakshmi sir, just a minute. Sangeeta ma'am, we'll get back to you. Just give us some time.
so salary of one female employee is 8,563, which is given in the sum. Therefore, salary of 17 female employee is 8,536 into 17, and we get this amount. Salary of one male employee is this much, 9,356. Therefore, the salary of 17 male employees is this. So the difference is 13,481. Now, this is the normal sum. Now over here, additional question. In this situation, dash gets higher pay than woman. Anyone who can fill up?
Men.
Men. This is dash, fair, unfair. Unfair. Because both of them work, both men and work should have been treated equally. So SDG dash talks about gender equality. So this is at just class lower level. So and hello.
So we can't hear you. Yeah, you're audible now.
Okay. So we simply solved the sum and we brought about this element of social justice over here. We also tell the students that by 2030, we hope there will be gender equality in every home, institution, and workplace. Now, since this is a very lower class 4, right? We cannot bring about more elements into it, but we know that as adults, we know that for the same work, men and women are paid differently. So this is what it is. And by 2030, we hope that we will be able to bring about equality. And once we are able to bring about equality, we can relate it to quality education. And if we can relate to quality education, then we can relate to SDG 1 and SDG 2. That is no poverty and zero hunger. Ma'am, any questions, anyone up to this?
Sangeeta ma'am, you had some question. Your hand is raised. If you could please unmute yourself and speak up.
Ma'am, I was not able to hear that time, so I just wanted to say
Okay,
that.
I'm so
Thank you
sorry. Now it is okay.
Yes, ma'am. Thank
Right.
you.
Thank you so much.
Any question, anyone? So,
Lakshmi sir, I think we can proceed.
yes, sure, ma'am.
Yeah.
Oh, ma'am, you can take up now.
Yeah. Now, this is a topic, linear simultaneous equations. Now, we all are mathematics teacher and we know that linear equations have been, we introduced linear equations in class 6th when we start making relations. So this is a topic which ranges from class 6 to class 10 actually. But in this particular example, I have taken it for class 9, that is grade 9. So this is an activity based question which is actually followed by an awareness drive. To it can be conducted outside your school. So the element of social justice which we'll be using here is raising awareness and taking social action. So age is from 15 to 16 years. As I told you, it can be for class 9th as well as for class 10th. So the activity is like this: caution on the road. This is some awareness drive. So basically this is some traffic signals we have introduced, and we are telling to use linear simultaneous equations to find out the values of those traffic signals in terms of x, y, or x, y, or y, z, or a, b, whatever the variables the students are taking. Can we proceed to the next slide, sir?
Yes.
Right. So this is the format which you see here. So these are some of the traffic signals which we are using, right? So it is one thing, it is making aware the student of the traffic signals on the road. Second is the accident prone areas where the basic element of injustice comes when the accident happens, or when there is a road rage. So basically with this example, when we take up this activity in the class, solving the question is on one side, which is actually indicating the mathematical part. The second thing is we are making them aware and talking of the injustice created on the roads with the heavy traffic, or with some road rage, or with some accidents, because this thing is a life related everyday problem. When we go on roads, when we see some of the commuters not using their lanes, some of the motorcyclists or bicycle users, they are not using their lanes. So basically these all problems can be easily taken care of such kind of activities. Now in this particular example, we have used a few road signs, traffic signs. We can actually create infinite examples using these traffic signals, and on the same time make aware the students about the traffic signals, about the usage of the traffic signs. And then we can even train them outside our school with the help of the traffic police, to how to accelerate the traffic, how to control the traffic and mitigate the road rages. So this is one such example. Now all the social justice, as we go move ahead, you can just keep on thinking and decide which of these social justice elements we can put into that, which of the sustainable goals can be fit into that. It is actually your perspective, or you can ask the students as well. They give you a wide variety when they come into that. So this is one example which is common for class 9 and class 10th. Lakshmi sir, may you please proceed with the next example? We are just left with 13 minutes.
So we'll go into the next one, which is a percentage and its application. So again, it's a class 7, 12 to 13 year. So the problem or the issue is, in a town with a population of 90,000, there are 30% girls and 45% boys, and the remaining are adults. Find the number of girls, boys, and adults. Out of 30% girls, only 20% goes to school, and 40% of the boys go to school. Find the number of boys and girls going to school. So when we solve the sum, we will find that out of 90,000, when we find 30%, it comes to 27,000 girls. And when we find 45%, we get 40,500 boys. and the remaining are definitely adults. Now, out of that 27,000, only 20% of the girls are going to school, which is only 5,400. So out of 27,000 girls, only 5,400 are going to school. Whereas out of 40,500, if we take 40%, 16,200 are going to school. So over here, there can be several issues. So we'll solve the sum normally. Like we find what is asked in the question. And then we ask like why the population of boys and girls in the particular town is not balanced. Secondly, why the number of girls going to school is comparatively less than the number of boys. So over here, we can bring about SDG 10, that is gender inequality. We can bring about SDG 5, which is gender equality. And we can relate it to quality education. Because if girls are not educated equally in terms with boys, then there is definitely some problem with the society. Also, when I do this, we only talk about male and female, boys and girls. We leave out the third gender, the transgender. So we also bring in about some, why in the town definitely there are transgenders. So why there is no ratio or no percentage of transgenders, and where is the percentage going to school? Why there is no facility? So we talk about all these social related issues. So it's a normal sum, which is in the book we are having, and we bring out the issue of social justice over here. Any question, anyone?
Yes, Sangeeta ma'am, you may please go ahead, unmute yourself. Sangeeta ma'am, am I audible to you? If I am, please unmute yourself.
Ma'am, this hand was for that time, ma'am, not now.
Okay.
Right.
So, ma'am, can we go to with the next one?
Yes, sir.
So again, this is from grade 3. Solve the sum with appropriate statements. Now, this is an award-winning company manufactured 5,73,801 zero carbon emission electric cars in the year. If 2,99,938 such cars were manufactured in the first half of the year, how many were manufactured in the second half? So it's a normal sum for class 3. So thus they have to do simple subtraction. From the total car, they have to minus what is manufactured in the first year. They get the number of cars manufactured in the second year. Now, when we look at the solution to the sum, we see the total number of cars, zero carbon emission electric cars that are manufactured, the number of cars which are given in the first half, we subtract and we get the number of cars in the second half. So over here, after they have solved the sum, we can talk about affordable and clean energy, that is SDG 7. And also, we can talk about SDG 11, which is sustainable cities and communities. We can also talk about alternative sources of energy. Because again, we have to keep in mind that these are small children. We can also do one thing. We can involve the senior classes over here with this example and ask them how many alternative source of energy vehicles are coming into the school. And because of that, how much of carbon footprints we can bring down. This is, and if we bring out the carbon footprints, how we are going, what is going to be the climate change that is going to take place through our simple steps. Any question?
Yes, sir. Can I?
Yes, your ma'am.
Sir, we can explain only through story problem like word problems or any other kind of
Ma'am,
problems.
any other problem. Like we have to devise our systems and find ways and alternatives through which we can embed justice in our syllabus. It's not only through word problems. We can take any problem.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
Lakshmi
Ma'am?
sir, may I proceed?
Yes, sure, ma'am.
Yeah. So, as you have seen, these are a few examples which we have taken. Now, it can be a question, it can be a topic picked up, it can be anything, a small thing. For example, if I'm talking about kitchen work, household work, I'm always calling it as, okay, Reena is going to the market to buy grocery. Why it is Reena always? Why not Ravi goes to buy the grocery? Ravi is playing cricket. Why Ravi is only playing cricket? Reena can also play cricket. These are the names in which you can easily teach gender equality to the class. Just by naming, you just have to trigger them. You just have to keep them thinking that why there is a change. You must agree with me, in our books also we find the same thing. When it is related to sports or something like that, the names are associated with some boy names, and when it is related to some household chores or anything else, or some embroidery work or something like that, it is related to the name of the girl child. So if it can be altered, then they keep on thinking that it is basically a situation of gender equality which they need to think of. It is both ways actually. It is not necessarily only we are talking about girls should get this, girls should get this. It is for the boys as well. So the next example, which I'll just talk about quickly, is about a pyramid of happiness. Now, this I have taken from a topic class 10th, that is arithmetic progression. And the SDG which I'm talking about is good health and well-being. Now, whenever we talk about health, we always talk about the visible problems which we have. But all the problems are actually related to our mental health. And mental health is directly related to the happiness quotient which we have. So this is some activity which was created for class 10 students. It is actually teaching them arithmetic progression. It is somewhat like this. If you can see the pyramid on your screens, right? So this is something like that, in which we told them to create their own pyramid of happiness using the following dimension which were related to the topic. So they were to use matchboxes. On the top level, there is a 1 block, second level 5 blocks, third level 9 blocks. The pattern continues for the rest of the levels down to 13th level at the base of the pyramid. So those who are teaching the higher classes, they must be knowing this progression, how it goes. It is simply like as complete the series which you do, right, in a particular way. So this is somewhat like that. Now, in this case, what we told them, write your strength and weaknesses at different levels and the name of your family members at the third level. Why? Because our family is our greatest strength. So when they jot down their strength and their weakness, they feel happy from inside, and they know that these are the things which I need to work on. So basically, for by this activity, self-love and knowledge, the element of social justice, we wanted to explore. We wanted to tell the students that they need to explore their strength, they need to polish them, and then they need to work on their weaknesses. So this is an activity which is related to good health and well-being, that is SDG 3. We can even bring a partnership of goals, that is SDG number 17, because mental health is related to all the things which we do. So that's it. Anything, any inputs from your side related to this or related to any other example?
Ma'am, I think we can go to the next slide and show them like where we can take other examples.
Yeah, sure, sir. And then I'll be just talking to them about 2-3 things more as they see those examples.
Yes.
Right. No, it was okay, Lakshmi sir. That was visible.
1 minute, ma'am. I think there is some
Yeah,
problem.
it's okay. So there are some other topics which we have jotted down. You can just check and take multiple examples in your class, the level you are teaching, the topic you are teaching. You can relate it to social development goals. You can also sustainable goals. You can also talk to your students related to these. Now, as Lakshmi sir is sharing the screen again, I'm just asking a simple question to you. If you have any examples of embedding justice that you have taken in your class, do share them in the chat quickly. We have 1 minute left, so if you could please share any of the examples which you have taken in your classes, in any of your questions for embedding justice. Or will you be taking these examples which we have shared? Will they be helping you in embedding justice in your classes, talking about social justice in your classes? Thank you, ma'am. Yes, thank you. Thank you, Rashmi ma'am. Thank you. Ratio and proportion, yes. Somebody wrote ratio and proportion they have used.
So here are some of the examples. Is it visible, ma'am?
I think it is. It is visible to me. Is it visible to everybody else? If anybody can unmute and tell us. Are you able to see the other examples which are written here?
Yes,
Ma'am, clear. It is clear.
Right. A simple task, if you give a question, if you start with the topic, for example, ratio and proportion, and you take up any question in the class, just tell your students about the sustainable goals and tell them to show them the 17 goals and tell them to relate it to one of the topics. Believe me, the students do a wonderful job. They relate the smallest topics and it is done very beautiful.
Ma'am, I think
So
we
just
have to
try it.
leave the breakout room.
Yes, I think.
And
Yeah.
thank you,
Now we
everyone.
can use this profit and loss statistics as far as these things are concerned.
Yes, we can use, and they are widely
in fact,
used.
we can use direct and inverse variations also, because there are many things which you can understand with the help of which you can tell the student with the help of this direct and inverse variation. Many
Yes,
things are
sir.
there.
Yes,
Ratio
thank you.
proportion also.
Yes, sir.
Our school using SDG 4 goals this year, ma'am.
Okay, that's great. Good. So thank you, everyone. I hope the sharing which we did today will be of some help to you and you will be exploring it more.
Ma'am,
Thank you, ma'am.
Excuse me, ma'am. One second.
Yes.